What's up, chat? My name is Travis Napier, and I am on a quest to become the world's strongest software developer. And this is episode 1 of Road to Nats. So, who am I? As a powerlifter, I have totaled 822.5 at my last competition at Pennsylvania State's 2024. That was about a year ago. Since then, I've gone up weight class, and I'm now competing at 125. Made a lot of gains, which I will talk about a little bit later. As a software developer, I have created a little app called Iron Plus. Does a bunch of calculations such as RPE conversion, kilo conversion, and warm-up calculations. So I released that about 4 years ago. I've also worked on the overlay systems for the USAPL. I did all their back-end work to get those working, as well as I've worked with SBD as well to create their overlay systems for SBD Raleigh, Sheffield, and the latest one was Powerlifting American Nats. So why am I here? Well, I've been working with all this different camera gear and microphones and all this stuff for the past 2 years now, and I wanted an excuse to make more content, get better at creating content. So I expect this to be highly experimental. I'm going to be doing a lot of messing around and a lot of finding out. But creating a Road to Nats is a pretty good excuse for me to actually practice all this. Gives me a little bit of structure, a little bit of a deadline, so it's not forever. We're gonna just play it by ear, see how this goes. Plan on having a lot of fun. My thought on the format of this is I'm just gonna kind of have a training blog, show my training for the week, and then probably have talking point. That might change. I don't know. We're gonna all in this together. So I hope you enjoy, and yeah, on to the training. So I just finished up week 2, day 1. Got back from PA Nats yesterday. PA Nats was a hell of a lot of fun. It's always great getting to see what other weight classes, other people in your weight class can do. So I got real fired up watching the 120s. So yeah, we're 12 weeks out. Today hit 285 for 3 on squat for my top set. Felt pretty good. My knees were a little meh. My back wasn't feeling great over the weekend. But alas, weight moved well. And then hit 187 for a single for bench. That also moved really well. Nearly blacked out on the rep. But that was just because I'm properly braced. So I'll fix that. No big deal. But yeah, looking forward to the next 11 plus weeks, getting ready for Nats, USAPL. Excited to see what we can put on the platform. All right, just finished up my deadlift session, week 2. Had 3 singles at 280. They all moved pretty well. The first one was kind of mad because I forgot to actually try. But the last 2 were pretty good. Had 220 for back offs, and then 215 for 205 for 3x10 on RDLs. My glutes were on fire by the end of those. Those were brutal. But overall, pretty good day. Can't complain all that much. Deadlifts are feeling, conventional's starting to feel really good. Switched back to conventional last block. My coach Evan and I were experimenting with sumo for a little bit. I really enjoyed sumo. I felt like it took a lot of fatigue off my lower back, which lower back fatigue has been an issue for me for as long as I've been powerlifting. So any way we can try and minimize that, I wanted to try. So we gave it a good old college try, but anytime I got to 290, it just was hard. So switched back to conventional last block. Hit a conventional PR at the end of it, hit 325 with some iffy. The execution was fine. The bar started rolling out of my hand, and then my knees unlocked a little bit trying to get to lockout. But that's why we're doing 3 singles. Just gotta get more practice, more reps under my belt. Yeah, I'm excited to see what conventional will bring on meet day. All right, so going into day 3 and 4 of this week. Day 3, I had some squats and some bench. I had a 3x5 with 255. Felt pretty good. My knees were still kind of meh, but I think I figured out part of the issue. The lovely help of my lovely, beautiful, strong girlfriend and PT, Brandis Dye. I just gotta do some Bulgarians and stretch out the quads a little bit. That helped out quite a bit. So gonna be adding that to the warm-up routine. So also had a 2-count pause single at 180. Moved pretty well. I don't love using this rack just because it's a little short. Changes how I press, but I only had a single, so it wasn't that bad. Followed that up with a 2x6 with 157.5. These moved pretty well. These are starting to get really heavy, which I really enjoy. The stimulus from these feels pretty good on the pecs. Yeah. All right, getting into day 4, I had a 3x4 with 250. The first 2 sets felt kind of meh. They weren't great. My body was just feeling kind of rough going into the end of the week. But the last set felt pretty good. Just got to try harder. It's kind of been the theme of this entire week. That was also an issue on I had a 3x1 on bench, again, 2-count pause, where the last set, I just had to remember, the weight is heavy, so I have to try harder. It's an issue of effort. I gotta just try a little bit harder on some of these sets. Definitely a big mental part of the game of powerlifting here, where some days your body just isn't going to feel great, and that's okay. But don't let that stop you from actually pushing to what your body can do on the day. So the talking point I wanted to talk about for this video is what has led to my success in increasing my lifts over the past year or so. So there's a couple of big factors. Number 1, I went up a weight class. I went from 110 to 125. Anytime you add mass, you're definitely going to get stronger. The second one is I changed coaching. I went from Sin Powerlifting to Beltless Hero Academia. And that's been pretty helpful in reinvigorating my need to push for training. So starting off, I was totaling around 882.5. I did that at my last comp at Pennsylvania State. And as of today in the gym, I've hit a 350 kilogram squat, which is a 32.5 kilo increase. 212.5, which is on bench, which is a 7.5 kilo jump, and then 325 on deadlift, which is a 15 kilo jump. So, after my last competition, I decided to take just some time off, just do some bodybuilding, because I was just kind of tired of powerlifting. Just my legs specifically my knees weren't feeling great from pushing to try and hit 700 at the comp, which I did. But switching to bodybuilding really helped reinvigorate my love for pushing accessories. So going into a session where you don't have to worry about feeling fatigued going into like your leg press and such feels pretty good. I was able to push stuff like leg press, hex squat, incline bench on a Smith machine, although a whole bunch of different types of movements. So getting to push those was really good for one, learning how to push them. I never really had the energy in sessions to actually push and feel and understand what it felt like to put as much energy and strength into them as possible. So learning to push my accessories when I came back to powerlifting has really helped, because essentially at this point in my powerlifting career, the compound movements are just there for practice. Like I know how to do them. They're not there building strength. I just need them there to grease the groove so that I still know how to squat, bench, and deadlift at the end of the week. The accessories are where most of my strength is being built now. So learning to push those during that bodybuilding phase has been paying dividends so far. The other thing for squats specifically, Bulgarian split squats are king. I hated them at first. They were awful, but Evan introduced them very easily. We just did bodyweight Bulgarian split squats for like the first 2 blocks, and that helped me gain the confidence to actually feel coordinated enough to do them, and then later on add weight so that I could actually push them. So yeah, do your accessories, push them if you want to get stronger. That's it for this first episode. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you want to know, what you want to see from me. That's it. Thanks.